Today is August 11th. The Yankees hang on. Take the series from the Rangers, get their 70th win of the season, tied with the O's in the standings. Let's talk Yanks.
Talking Yanks with old John Boy Jake. Recaps galore, weekly awards, stat lines, steaming hot takes. Get your Yankees news from these two fine dudes. It's time for Talking Yanks. Talking Yanks with old John Boy Jake.
Hello and welcome to Talking Yanks, which is brought to you by SeatGeek. You can use code YANKS15 for 15% off any tickets at SeatGeek. My name's Jimmy. His name is Jake, producer BBD in the corner. And that was code YANKS15 for 15% off your order over at SeatGeek, who sponsor each and every show of Talking Yanks. Jake, welcome back. How are you? Happy Sunday. Yankees win, and it was a breathe easy, don't even need to watch ninth inning.
James Davis, everyone tuning in. City of Nashville, shout out. A lot of hot chicken, a lot of dancing this weekend. It's comical how sore my little legs are, just from letting it eat on the dance floor. A lot of open spaces really allowed me to get to work. Man, I'm doing well. I guess. I mean, that Gleyber final play, I don't know if they're going to put that in the next Tom Amansky video, but hey, Soto and Judge are incredible. Austin Wells is awesome. And yeah, I don't know. I'm excited for some grounds creeping, and I feel like, I don't know, this week in August for me mentally, it feels like it goes from midsummer to like end of summer. And I'm excited to start doing like, whoa, we're tied with the Orioles in first place. Like, what relievers are actually going to catch the sauce? We're getting Clarke Schmidt updates. Stanton looked good. Like, I'm excited. I'm excited for the next steps, Jimmer.
Recording in progress.
Ignore that.
Robot.
Oh my God.
Last episode when Joe's filled in for you, not sure if you tuned in at all, but Nestor's start, it was the first time I had the feeling of like, well, I don't really care because I don't think he's a playoff starter. And
Right.
That's the vibe that you're kind of talking about. And that was the first like inkling I got. We're like, playoffs are here. Like we're getting ready. Like we're trying to win the division, get ready for postseason. Doesn't fully feel like that yet. But like when Nestor does for me, but it will kick in soon. The double headers make everything funky.
Yeah.
It will kick in soon. I think next Sunday, a week from today.
Okay.
It'll really feel like that. I can't believe it's August 11th. I still feels like it could be July still. So I'm pumped when I see we're kind of getting through there. Grounds creeping is interesting if we want to start there. And for anyone tuning in, he's Jake. I'm Jimmy.
Oh, wow.
We're going to talk Yanks. We recap each game of the series.
Nice, Jim. Nice.
And then the second half, we go into awards where we give out Pride of the Yankees, Yankee MFer, and regular awards. I should start doing it at the top of the show.
I think, and I'd expect some friendly banter along the way.
That's true. That's true. And no fibs.
There will be lies. There will be lies.
Yeah, you know what that Gleyber play was? Just to Quentin Tarantino this and start at the end, and then we'll
Sure.
go back to the beginning. That was like in a paranormal movie where like a body is getting possessed, but the human fights it off. That was the yips coming for Gleyber. Like the ghost of the yips tried to enter his body, turned him into like a robot on a knee. And then Gleyber fought and was like, no, and made the play. So in a way, it's a victory. But they're coming. They're trying to get to Gleyber. I hope he keeps fighting him off.
Let's circle back on that with the Tarantino stuff later.
Okay, let's go back to the beginning then. And here's the grounds creeping. Cue the music, babes.
Here come the stories of what's coming next. Here come the stories. They're from Jimmy's chest.
Clarke Schmidt. Cashman says we'll start a rehab assignment around August 22nd. Maybe getting him, this is a quote from Cashman, maybe getting him on board at the latest around the second week of September, if not earlier. So many of those words are escape words. I'll name all of them. Maybe, latest, around, if not.
Well, around August 22nd, he'll get that rehab game.
It's a good update, but they just never want to cement anything in stone at all. Wow, Lou Trevino starting a rehab assignment in the middle of next week. Who would have thunk it? Cody Petit further behind than Clarke and in less of a rush. Cashman talked about Jason Dominguez, said he's healthy. The injuries prevented him from getting a bulk of a performance. He's definitely sitting there waiting in the wings if need be, playing mostly in center field. I think we're going to get him over in left. He's done multiple positions in his career. He's just waiting in the wings, hungry and waiting to see if he gets his chance. It's nice to know he's available to us if need be. There's currently no lane for us to bring him in. It's nice to know he's there. He's just knocking rust off and waiting for his opportunity if it comes. That's so many words. That's good. And Dominguez hasn't been hitting. So I saw, he hasn't been hitting. If they hold him back until September, he's eligible to be rookie of the year next year, which means they can get another first round draft pick or like the potential to get a first round draft. He's not coming up till September unless there's like a severe injury.
And he did play left field yesterday, if people are excited about that.
What's that?
In that quote, Cashman talked about how they think that he's going to play left field soon. He played left field yesterday.
And what's the update on Trent Grisham? I didn't see that today.
I don't think I saw one. They said after the games yesterday that X-ray's negative and all that, or CAT scan's negative, whatever he got done.
Well, that's all you go. That's the ground creeping.
That's all you go. Are you not a little? I'm surprised you're not a little more freaked out by the Clarke timeline.
4 starts and then postseason. Is that what he's looking at?
Well, if it's middle September again, like this was September, like this season got started early. Like the regular season ends, I think, the 28th. So I don't know. I know injury timelines, you're usually a little more conservative than me. And like if there's a hiccup or anything, like we're in a bad place. Like I feel like when Clarke first got hurt, we were talking like August return, and now I don't know.
Well, August 22nd would be the first rehab start. And then that would put him at Wednesday the 28th for his second. And then Tuesday the 3rd for his third. And then what did he say? Then so they're mapping out 3 rehab starts, because then the next one would be the September 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th series.
He did say at the latest, and that's for all the other escape words they put in that, to put like second week of September at the latest.
Yeah, well, that's the homestand against Kansas City and Boston. So could be a pretty big homestand that they're eyeing to have him back, and that allows him to make 3 rehab starts. So I think that's normal.
Okay. How many starts do you need to see him have at the big leagues?
I would have liked more than this, but they've been on a slow schedule, and they said that we're not going to rush him at all.
Yeah, I mean I think that's the other thing going on, is that they feel confident. Like we've seen Clarke pitching to hitters, so I think they are just, they don't feel a need to rush him at all, so they're not.
What date did Cashman say?
Around August 22nd September for the first rehab, and second week of September at the latest for getting him back.
Yeah, so that's that homestand against Kansas City. So if he was to do Monday the 9th, which would be the first one, which I think it would map out the 4th start from August 22nd, he would get 1, 2, 3, 4 starts, and then playoffs. So yeah, it does seem somewhat normal when you do the math. Or like, I don't know, a different route.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, some good stuff in this series. Some good pitching performances from guys we want to see. Some bats start banging, and then also some stuff that's not good that you don't want to see. So we will address all of that. You want to start with game 1?
That was like another little teaser. Yeah, I will, and it's brought to you by the DraftKings Sportsbook. I mean, bottom of the 9th, 2 outs, bases full. We kind of saw that today. Very similar. Man, the drama of baseball is real, and at the DraftKings Sportsbook, whether it's the same game parlays, live betting, odds boost, DK, DraftKings has all the action. And if you download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use code Yanks, how about that? New customers bet $5 and get $150 in bonus bets instantly. That's code Yanks only on DraftKings. The crown is mine. Let's play 2 in the Bronx as former Yankee Nate Dogg Evaldi would try to make it regulate for Texas while Carlos rode on a 3-game win streak. Bottom 1, it's a Gleyber ribber as Torres opens up the scoring. Like your mom shopping for family picture shirts, Austin Wells is shopping at the Gap. 2 RBI double, 3-0 Yanks. How about 3 more in the 4th? Judgy, he'll order a double. Wells' single gives him 4 RBI on the day. Rodon was clean, 5.2 innings pitched, 3 hits, 5 walks, but 0 earned runs. To Disco Ron and Tim Chill, Chisholm and the Yanks play him off with some light jazz as they win 8-0 final.
I was at this game.
What was all that AI stuff that you guys were messing around with last night?
Obviously we botched like every part of all those segments, but we really botched the AI because Joe's read the one that didn't give any info about the game. But me and Beebs did send 2 versions for game 1 that had like Luis Heel and some stats and numbers that AI made. That was funny, but also like it was competition for you in a way.
Yeah. It's always been me against the world.
And then my joke with Joe's worked perfectly, besides his computer having a ripple in it.
I was at this game.
Yeah, I was giggling to Katie, like, Katie, I'm gonna write this burn in the middle of it. It's when I get Joe's rolling, it's just gonna say, ow, my butt hurts, and he's not gonna know how to stop because I had like the script in all caps. So he was just like, bah, 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 blah, blah, blah. And that part did work beautifully.
Right.
Like he just said, ow, my butt hurts without even noticing. I just like telepromptered him. But the ripples not being able to pronounce the other words, that kind of sucked. Anyway, yeah, I was at this game, game 1, and it was like a beautiful game for the home team. Offense mashed. Wells came through a bunch, which you need, and Rodon pitched great. Nice sunny day. Like it was, and like the runs came in a good like order, like 1 run and no runs, then 2, then 3, then 1. So then, you know what I mean? So like first 5 innings were just a great time in the stadium.
Well, dude, it's also, I mean, Rodon, I'm not sure if he's getting talked about later, but now I think it's 4 straight winning starts, and he's looked really good. The Austin Wells stuff, man, and I don't know if he's getting talked about later, but it's one of the things I've petitioned a lot is we need more doubles in baseball because Austin Wells hitting a double in the Gap and seeing Soto and Judge score, that was sick. Like I need more of that.
DJ tried.
Yeah. And then it was funny in today's game. This is random, but I think Josh Young was up, and the Yankees had just normal standard defense, and the Paul and Caster were laughing. And it is kind of crazy. You never see that. You never see just regular defense anymore. which I want. I like regular defense.
You want, further the shift.
Ban the shift, Bob. Austin Wells 4 RBI. Good to see Disco Ron on a doubleheader day. And yeah, I mean, like you said, a fun Saturday baseball game. Do you get a bonus homer later in the game? Yeah, Jazz hits one. Sure, why not?
But not his first at the stadium. But it's fun. First I saw.
That's a good way to tell stories if you're an old man.
Yeah. His first homer at the stadium, first one I saw anyways.
Thanks, Chief.
Yeah. Doubleheader lineup was nice. Like they didn't do too much funk here with this lineup. The one thing that we probably won't talk about later is that Ben Rice gets the start in game 1 and gets a hit in this one.
Okay.
Which was nice. Also made a nice play. And Grisham came out.
Grisham got hit, yeah.
And Jazz went to center field, which is nice versatility to have. And Oswaldo came and played third. And as soon as that happened, I told my dad, well, he's getting a hit. And then he got a hit because Oswaldo's pretty good, especially like when he just comes in. What are his numbers off the bench? They're probably bad. They feel good. That was game 1.
The game they ended it with a nice little double play. Yeah, right? Yep. Nice.
Game 2 started like 34 minutes after this one ended.
So you stayed for 1, but not 2.
Yeah, I had James.
Makes sense.
He wanted to stay. Kept saying, I want them to start the game again. And I was like, dude, 99% of the time, I just tell him they're not going to do that.
Right.
That doesn't happen. Single ticket double header. I'm like, shit. But so then I listened to this game and then watched it at home.
And again, just a reminder for our fans, maybe I did this. I think we did this. If you got a single ticket double header, that's the day to do Legends. I mean, it turns into a little way too much Americana, but like you could just eat for 6 hours.
Yeah.
Trying to find the day to do that.
Yeah.
Crowd 1 probably steals all the candy.
Should we do game 2?
Steal it.
Before we get to game 2, Oswaldo Cabrera as a starter, 242, 292, 360, and a 652 OPS. As a sub, 308 batting average, 308 on base. He hasn't walked. A 692 slug. He has an OPS of 1,000 as a sub.
That's right. I watch the games. I talk about them.
13
I
plate
know what I'm
appearances.
saying.
I did it. That's who.
Yeah. Who do you think you are? I am. Oswaldo Cabrera off the bench. For those that don't know, when you get Legends tickets on your way out of the inside to the field, there's just cubbies of candy that you walk through, like little Reese's or little bag of M&Ms. I don't know, just tons of candy, like legit candy store where you put them into a bag and then you weigh it at the end, but you just take it. And by the 7th, 8th inning, people come with like at-home bags, and they just fill their bags up and take the candy home.
Not great.
Like not enough to eat at the game. It's like
Not
some
great.
weird fucking. It's rich, like wealthy enough to get Legends, but maybe that's how you stay wealthy. You know, you don't pay for candy.
It's also
you get the
paid
free
this
candy.
much. Let's make that count.
Investing tips.
Grab
Yeah.
all the candy
All right.
you can.
Game number 2.
Game 2, Bradford versus Cole. Sounds like a country club tennis match in the double dip. And hey, a Gleyber River gets it started again. It's 1-0 Yanks in the second. Rangers would tie it in the fourth with an Adolis Garcia single. It's 1-1. It would remain that way into the sixth. Close game, no more. Weave and Talkin have the wheels come off to the tune of 8 runs. Cole has a nice final line. Yanks rallied a bit late, but it's not enough as they lose this one 9-4-5.
Yeah, tough game. Tough game for the Weave. Some of the major bullpen pieces kind of got harmed in the making of this series win.
Yeah.
Weave. Yeah.
Going to be interesting to see eyes on Weaver down the stretch, his first year as a full bullpen guy. And I would imagine whether the Yanks are toe-to-toe with Baltimore, that's one of the guys they're going to be more careful with down the stretch. They might just have him on a every 3-day plan at a certain point. What do we think of Cole in this start? 10 strikeouts?
Yeah, 10 strikeouts, working with a new catcher again, getting frustrated at times.
Yeah.
I don't know. I was like listening to the first half as I was driving, and then I got home and watched the very end and then the implosion. I thought he looked good. It sounded like the pitch mix was good, Cole. Like it was a lot of fastball mixed up to secondary, was getting through at bats. I'm not sure. Did he look off like the last couple starts, or did he return to form?
I don't know. I guess it was a weird thing for me looking at the box score, seeing 5.1, 1 earned, 10 Ks, and something about it didn't feel Cole-ish, but I don't know. I don't know if that's just being obnoxious or not.
All right, so I'm looking at this. The swing and miss, 50% swing and miss percentage. So that's pretty good. The slider was really working. 54% swing and miss on the slider. Only four of them put in play out of 16.
When he got that strikeout looking and he pointed immediately to
Carlos
Narvaez, I like that.
Yeah, I like that too. Oh, and then the knuckle curve, which he had the last start as well, 78% swing and miss.
Okay.
He threw 15 of them, generated 9 swings. 7 of the swings were whiffs, and only two, no foul balls. So 2 of them got put in play. So those numbers are actually pretty good for Cole.
Okay.
I think from what I was watching, it wasn't like dominant, but it was Cole.
They, Giancarlo and Jazz at the end, pump a couple. Maybe it's momentum into the next day, you know?
It was a long day of ball. Hard to win double headers. I think. I don't know. Hard for the Yankees. Lineup wise, I was happy with both doubleheader lineups. You know, that's not a place we've been many years. This year, it's better. Don't know if that's because of the lineups we have or who ends up on the bench for this game. Verdugo, Soto, Judge, Stanton, Jazz, Gleyber, Volpe, Carlos, DJ. So Grisham was hurt, but he's on the bench.
Rice out for DJ.
And
Wells out for Narvaez.
And then Oswaldo.
Yep.
So if Oswaldo can play first instead of DJ, maybe you like that more. Though DJ has been hitting. But
Oswaldo, no start in the doubleheader? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know what his role is. He's kind of like good and energetic when he plays.
Can he play shortstop? Hey, yo.
Oh, Jakey boy.
We don't say that. We don't say that.
David Robertson. My goodness.
Hot.
Let's do game 3, which is the series. If we're being honest, the other disappointing thing about this game, number 2, is a lefty started, and it's like, oh my goodness, they can't beat lefty starters. Not good. And
That's
then
not good.
game 3 versus a lefty.
Oh.
Take it away, Jakey boy.
Rubber match in the Bronx. It's throw time as Marcus toes the rubber against former Yankee legend, the Heen Dog. Buckle up. Isn't he wonderful? Soto goes yard in the third to make it 2-0 Yanks. Bottom 5, the intentional walk to Judge, which allows Stanton to check out with Leclerc. Giancarlo Let the rhythm take you over, Giancarlo. Te quiero. 3-run homers. Woo woo. It's 5-0 Yanks. They would cruise. It's 6-3 after some shoddy pen and defense. But Judge and Soto look like two pregnant ladies as they go belly to belly. It's 8-3 Yanks. They'd cruise. Mark gets light up. Cardiac Clay. Never a doubt from Gley. Yanks get it done. 8-7 final and take the series 2 out of 3.
Heavy bats, I guess. When they went back to back, you're like, all right, thank God.
Right.
And then Leiter comes out, gets got.
Yeah.
Then Clay for 4
part,
outs.
The lighter part of this game felt super unnecessary. Feel like I might be sounding biased there. But yeah, I think he'd only given up 2 homers in his last 45 innings or something like that, or 45 appearances. And then he gives up 2 there, which, I mean, I guess as we pocket our Mark Leiter memories, which isn't a phrase, you'd rather do it in a game that you are up 5 than a close one. But yeah, and then I don't know, like, what are the rules of the bullpen? Does Mark Leiter have to buy Clay dinner? Does Boone have to buy Clay dinner? 45 pitches.
I don't know. Clay's. You guys will talk about it later. I don't know. I mean, he looks nasty and then it falls off a cliff. I just they got Tim Hill up before he blew the save. Clay's kind of like he'd be nice to have someone to get up after him.
Right.
If he was the 8th inning guy and then you had the closer, you'd be like, all right, we'll just pull him and bring the closer in. Instead, we're doing that for other relievers, but then we got to get through the Clay scaries. So in this game, Jazz also gets danced around at third a lot. 3 balls in a row or 3 balls in the same inning. The bunt was kind of beautifully placed. I don't know where Jazz was playing.
Bunt was beautiful. Yeah, there was those back-to-back plays where it was like an infield cut each other off party where Jazz hopped in front of Volpe to boot it, and then Gleyber cut Volpe off at the pass, which I felt unnecessary. Yeah, I don't know. Does Jazz have a foot thing going on?
What do you mean?
When he ran to first after the double play, and then I feel like they said something on the broadcast about his foot, but I could be making all of that up.
Well, didn't he get hurt in this game?
I think so.
I thought he fouled the ball off his foot in this game.
There you go.
Yeah. I think he's gonna be all right though.
It was another good broadcasting moment because Jazz beats out the double play, and he kind of had a couple limpy steps. And O'Neill was like, "Yeah, he knows his speed timing." And Kay was like, "Speed timing? It's not." Kind of call him BS on that one, Paulo.
What did they rule? Did they not rule an error on Jazz?
I believe it's listed as fielder's choice with an error.
Okay.
When did he choose something?
What did he choose to do?
Error.
How is that a fielder's choice?
Like, are they assuming he was gonna just flip that to second, and that's sounds like an error's in there one way or another.
I don't really get that. The other thing about this game, Jake, is that when Stan hit that 3-run homer, he was out earlier. And the ump said foul. And yes, showed an angle. It's just I just watched a high home video. Just like, no, if I was a Rangers fan, I'd be pretty perturbed. It's like it went over the bag. Kind of the way my brain and physics go together. Other people might see physics differently.
Okay.
But I was like, I'd
going.
be pissed if I was a Rangers fan when I saw him hit the homer after that, because I was like, ooh, second life.
That was one of the more fun stand swings we've seen in a while. I mean, I don't know. There was something. I don't know what that is, man. I mean, it's nobody else does that.
They showed a replay that had DJ fist pumping on third, and it was like DJ's fist pumps were like that of like, yes, like, because they intentionally walked Judge.
Right.
The team desperately knows they have to make them pay for walking Judge. And DJ's fist pumps to me weren't like, hell yeah, 3-run shot. It was more like, fuck yeah, like we got reinforcements.
I mean, that's kind of where we started this episode by laying out the format and telling the people how we're going to execute the show. But I think one of the things to watch is very clearly the at-bats after Judge does get intentionally walked, because that's going to be a storyline going into it. If Stanton or Wells are punishing pitchers after that happens, it could go away to a degree. If not, I mean, it'll just get louder and louder each time. So, yeah, that was a big one by G, and he it's kind of one of those funny things we talk about. Sometimes we see guys sit off speed and we're kind of like, what are you doing? Like, because that's a ball. And I feel like we've seen Stanton swing over that pitch a lot, but he went down and got it.
That he swung over it, I believe, the pitch before. So I think, or maybe 2 pitches before. Let me look at the sequence.
Second pitch.
2 pitches before. Or 3 even, because Judge stole on the high fastball.
3.
Then there was a ball. He swung and missed that at 0-1, right after the foul ball. And it was below the zone. Jose Clarke. And yeah, he totally, I actually want to see if I can do a side-by-side of these 2 swings, because that swing was different. Because he went down. He went down to hit it on a plane.
Yeah, he brought his body down.
Yeah.
Which, like, we've seen Stanton golf balls, but I feel like he doesn't bend his legs. So he must have either knew that pitch was coming, assumed that pitch was coming, and, like, really, really got down there and hit a homer that he's the only guy that really does that.
I think he knew that pitch was coming.
I mean, fastball. It's like an okay assumption, I'd think, but maybe there's more to it.
He's also a guess hitter at times.
How do you hit that ball like that?
I don't know.
I
think it's a good query from you.
Okay. What else? I mean, obviously the end and the bullpen. What else needs to be hit upon?
I think enough's going to get talked about, but Clay scares me, so I don't know where that leaves us as a conversation. Let's just move on. We'll talk about pride and the good stuff, and then we'll touch on what we touch on. If that's cool with you.
Yeah, just another kind of just like teaser about what's gonna come.
I just really wanted them to win because I didn't want them to do the same thing they did against the Angels, so I'm happy.
Right. Should we do the next part of the show?
Yeah, I think you should tell everyone who you're proud of. I got to go first last time. It was
awesome. Let's see. Sunday, which we know my situation. Man, who makes me proud to be
an American?
Proud to be an American. Where at least I know I'm free. I'll cop out and go Aaron Judge. Just because if Judge is gonna get one, I don't know, 600 batting average, good. 692 on base percentage, good. Led the team in hits, led the team in runs, led the team in walks. Yeah, I wish I was teeing up a little more for the people if I'm just being for real right now, but I don't know. He's almost boringly good. Homer number 42 today.
Dude, he's so good, and he was going to be my pride if you felt you didn't want to take him, because you didn't want to Because the reasons you're like boring. He's just so good. He's so good. And I wanted to make fun of the Rangers and thank the Rangers and get upset with the Rangers.
Okay.
For pitching to him.
Right.
Thank you for pitching Darren Judge. Like I looked up at game 1 when I was there. He was 3 for 3. I was like, thanks, Rangers. This is what happens when you decide to throw him pitches in the zone. This is nice. And then I keep going through the series. They don't pitch to him. They intentionally walk him. I'm like, God, screw you. But then Wells gets hits. Gleyber gets hits. Stan gets hits. Thanks, Rangers.
Thanks, Rangers.
Because now you got other teams in a blender. Do we want to pitch to him or do we want to walk him? They're just going to have to figure that out.
Pitch to him. Pitch to him.
Pitch to him. Pitch to him. He went 6 for 10. He went 6 for 10.
Yeah. Yeah.
He went 6 for 10 with 3 walks.
Yeah.
Dude is nuts.
My captain.
He's your captain?
Yeah.
All right. Fine.
Go then.
I don't think he claims you as like a cap, like what a, I don't know, what a cap teammate. There should be a word for what captains consider teammates that aren't also captains.
I like to think Judge would call me little dog.
He called me big dog once.
Right.
I ain't big.
I ain't mad at you.
Good pride, Jake.
Where are you going?
Dude, I don't know. The secondary market for pride is a little packed, to be honest. Like, a lot of people hit pretty well, you know?
Play, save the game. Gleyber makes the game-saving play.
Rodon comes around. Yeah, I mean, Wells comes through. I'm gonna go with Giancarlo Stanton though. If I'm being honest, did you hear how we just did you hear how we just gushed about that whole home run and that at bat? And it wasn't just that he hit the ball hard all series. He goes 3 for 6, 3 hits, 6 RBIs on the 3 hits, mind you, which is exactly what he was doing before he got hurt. Like his numbers were good. They weren't insane, but with runners on, he was coming through. And we desperately need help versus lefty pitchers. And he helps today. So I'm going to go with Stanton. 2 homers, 3 hits. I mean, yeah, this little series is his like numbers before he got hurt.
Jim, it's pride of the Yankees. That was a pretty proud swing.
Yeah. He's a proud man.
Good pick. Nice pick.
Thank you.
Good pick.
Let's see. Since he's been back now, this doesn't include today's game, which is going to help it out. Whatever. So I'm proud of him.
It's good.
Thank you.
Do we do MFer?
You Yankee motherfucker.
Whoa.
That was heavy.
That really sneaks up on the first time listener, huh?
Yep.
It's hard.
Damn. I think I'm gonna go Volpe, man. I think
shit. People are gonna be mad at you.
We got a little bit of Volpe juice coming out of the All-Star break. Look how fresh he looks. He looks rejuvenated. Blah blah blah. Is he on an 0 for 21 right now? 0 for 22? And we're seeing the bad signs of Volpe. We're seeing the swings where the helmet comes off. And I don't know, Paul O'Neill was talking about his hands, that he's dropping his hands. That feels like a bad thing. And maybe I would listen to Paul O'Neill over me. And yeah, I mean, man, the one that really hurt me today, I tweeted about it. Follow me at Talkin Jake on X. He got an 88 mile per hour sinker from Dane Dunning to start his at bat. It was middle in. Man, he fouled it off, and it wasn't like a good foul off. It looked like a 2-strike survive foul off, and it was a first pitch heater down the dick, and not even a heater, 88.
In today's game?
In today's game, his at bat versus Dane Dunning.
Who you like?
It's a joke on Talking Baseball. I thought he was a lefty, and it turns out he's a righty. I don't know. Dane Dunning just felt lefty to me. But yeah, I don't know. Like, you see something like that, and it's like, okay, what's going on here? Because it looked like he was sitting on the fastball, got it, and then doesn't give it a good swing. So I don't know what that's about.
When did he get hurt?
I think last
And
game
then the
of
X-rays
Angels
were negative?
series.
What's that?
I think in the last game of the Angels series, he fouled one off.
Okay. So maybe he's battling that a little bit. He did have a double in the first inning of the Angels doubleheader header, and then 0 for 23, 10 Ks since. Joe's gave him MFer last ep, so it's back-to-back for the Volpster. He made one of the nicest plays he's made defensively.
Hey, we like that. And that's I was debating how aggressive I wanted to be when it came to awards, whether I was going to do something like, hey, can we start, like, why don't the Yankees treat Wells like Volpe? Because Wells has been a better baseball player. And that came off a little harsh because playing good defense at shortstop is very valuable. But yeah, we've done all that. And I don't know. Like, I feels like game plan wise, he's a little just lost at the dish.
This has been how he's been.
Right.
Like, his bad is terrible and his good is great this year. Like 2 stretches of just like absolutely dominating.
Yeah.
All right. Well, my MFer isn't going to be him because you chose him. We don't like to double up. You know, sometimes we do.
Sweet.
And this might be his first time ever getting it, and it breaks my heart, but this is how much we have to be true to the show. I'm going with the Weave Dog. 5 earned runs. You know, I didn't like that at all. 5 earned runs from the Weave. And ends it with a homer. Should he have been pulled earlier? I don't know. He had let up some runs. He was getting hit. But 0.1 innings pitched, 5 earned runs.
Yeah.
He entered the game. It was tied. He left the game. It was down 5. So that's a bad outing, and it's a game-killing outing. So I'm going Weave Dog.
Yeah. I mean, hey, brush it. He had 3 clean before this one. If you wanted to butter knife some stuff with Weave Dog, you could make some nasty work out of it because he's got 2 blow-ups in his last 7 outings. So I don't know. I'm interested to see, again, what I said before. I think that's a guy that we need to be monitoring down the stretch. Like, relief is just a whole different animal that, you know, Luke Weaver's, sure, he had some bullpen time, but he was built up as a starter for every season he's been a part of. Like, he had 21 starts last year for the Cincinnati Reds. He had 25 starts the year before that. I think there was 1 year, 2022, that he was pretty much relief only. I think long reliever. But he only pitched 26 games that year. So this was game 45, getting the cannon hot.
Do you think that if there wasn't a race for the division right now, as we're tied with the Orioles, and you mentioned this already at the top of the show at the beginning, like, but if there was no race, it was like 2022 or whatever when they had it locked up, he'd get the CC 2 weeks vacation. How many guys did they give that to in 2022? Like 3 different players, right?
I can see that happening either way. Like, you know, I know we heard a Lou Trevino rumor. We heard I've been on the F Ross bus, just wondering what's going on. I could see them. I think the Yankees very much value players being rested over winning the division.
I think I agree with you for the most part. In 2022, they did it to so many guys. They did it to Nestor and said he had a hamstring thing, and then he was running
Yeah,
the next day
it's tricky.
on the field. So I could see that coming with Weave. He's just pitched a ton. But unfortunately for this series, he does get my MF for Jake.
All right, I've always said that's like a welcoming thing in a way.
You have been saying that a lot. It's like a welcoming thing in a way.
Jim, the rest of this episode awards are brought to you by BetterHelp. What are your self-care non-negotiables? Maybe you never skip leg day, or maybe therapy day. When your schedule is packed with kids' activities, big work projects, and more, it's easy to let your priorities slip. Even when we know what makes us happy, it's hard to make time for it. So, BetterHelp. Get in touch with a licensed professional. Just fill out a brief questionnaire. You'll then be matched with that licensed professional I just mentioned. And then you can switch therapists at any time for no additional charge. Stop comparing and start focusing with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/Yanks today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/Yanks.
Your first award, regular old award.
Woo. My first regular old award is the Market 8 Dude Award.
Market 8, dude. That goes to Jazz Chisholm.
It's a good guess. I can understand. He had some impactful things in this series. It's going to Gleyber Torres, Yankees second baseman. Oh, yeah. Welcome to Sunday, Pop. Gleyber Torres today.
I think Jazz got it.
Gleyber Torres today marks an 8-game hitting streak. Again, we're in bed with Gley at this point. I think that's very clear on multiple levels. Oswaldo not starting a doubleheader. If you're an Oswaldo for the infield dreamer, the Yankees would never do that to Gleyber Torres. He's got an 8-game hit streak going. It would be one of those cool. I love a good hit streak. I feel like we don't get a lot of those in baseball nowadays. If we could get Gleyber like on a hit streak watch, that would be fun and maybe make him a happy boy again. And I know the defense base running is always going to be frustrating. His last 31 games, 289, 341, a 746 OPS. He's been close to a version of Gleyber Torres at the plate.
That's since the first benching, right?
I believe so. Do we remember which?
Toronto.
I think,
Toronto.
yeah.
In between.
Yes. So yeah, I don't know. We're gonna have our frustrations. If Gleyber Torres could hit like Gleyber Torres in the middle back part of our lineup, that would be an asset, and I'd love to see him be happy, play happy.
I'd like that too.
Hit streaks are happy.
Hit streaks are happy. On base streaks. Just my opinion.
Okay.
My first award is the is the
Say hey.
For All the Little Jimmies award.
For all the little Jimmies.
Now, this might be a tough one for you, and that's fair, and that's fine.
And that's fine. For all the little Jimmies out there. It's going Austin Wells.
See, I told you you'd get it.
Yeah.
Explain why.
Well, you're a catcher. All the little Jimmies catching out there, you want them catching.
Close.
All right.
I love catchers.
Okay.
Posada, one of my favorite Yankees. Jeter, obviously favorite. He was like a hero. But Posada, when I was a little kid and I was like growing up, like I like rooting for a solid catcher. So for all the little kids out there,
Right.
I want like a mainstay, middle of the order guy. I don't think there's a position that gets as beloved than when you have like a badass catcher because they're so involved with all the game. When you think of Mauer or you think of Yachty, obviously, or like even going back like to like the famous catchers like Fisk or Bench or Yogi, like because they're just part of the pitching staff and they're part of the dirt and grind. I think when you get a mainstay as a little kid, there's like a real love for that player in that position, like more so than others. I know you like third base, but I just feel like they're there. They work with all the pitchers. They're grinding. Like they get talked about. Like, oh, and what a job he does with the staff and all this. If Wellesley is a middle of the order bat and catcher, like be still my fluttering heart. That is awesome. And he's been really good. And not only has he been really good, it's looked really good.
Yeah.
And it's looked easy and it's looked just there. Like today, was it Dunning or was it Heaney? I forget who was pitching, or was it Leclerc? No idea. But they wanted to go outside with the fastball and missed a spot to like kind of middle, and he just rocketed it for a double. Yeah. And like it just looked like, well, yeah, you missed your spot, so I'll hit a double. If that's the type of hitter he is, I'm just very excited, as well as the patient bats. It's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I know Austin Wells has his good butter knife. There's a lot of ways to look at it. It's funny reliving the season. April, March, 196 batting average of 339 on base. He had more walks than strikeouts. Next month was bad, and I think we were worried. June was solid. July, 941 OPS. August now, coming into today, is 385, 448 on base. He's been raking for a while, and yeah, we talked about this on Talking Yanks episodes when we were half frustrated with Higgy and Trevi, that it was like, man, kind of an everyday catcher, especially when you looked around the league last playoff season, and every team kind of had their guy behind the dish. And I don't know. I think there's something to that. And Trevi's rehabbing, right?
He's going to be back soon. He starts in. He might have started his rehab.
I think he played a game. Yeah.
Yeah. Some good notes on Austin Wells. Batting 444 with runners on base this month, which is 6 games, but that's good. And has an on base percentage of 353 with 2 strikes on him this month. So I think that stat goes to show what I was saying. Like he just looks very comfortable, confident. Just going to find his. And I was watching him catch, and the Yankees do some crazy shit. If you're at the game and you can watch like your own angles, not relying on TV, watch Wells set up after he gives the sign and the pitcher says yes. Just watch that. It's wild. And I'm not going to explain why. You're going to have to just watch it.
You just got to watch it, man.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
So that's my Wells award.
Good award.
Thank you.
I'm going to give out the Borrow Your Gavel award.
Borrow your gavel. Hey, can I borrow your gavel?
Hey, can I borrow your gavel?
Is that going to Juan Soto?
Sure is, Jim. Because something that I've been missing from our New York Yankees is the signature Judge right field ball off the wall, turn and fire you're smoked meat. And Soto's gone for a couple of those, and he hasn't gotten it. And he got one this series. That he made the play off the wall, turned and fired, got Seager at second, I believe. It spins my head in circles a little bit because I'm like, wait, Judge is our center fielder? Like sometimes we just forget that. And that he's a world-class right fielder. And again, Soto's been fine, but I was glad to see him get one of those because I feel like there's been 2 or 3 times I perked my head up and I was like, ooh, is Soto gonna get his? Played the hop perfectly. Nice low throw to Volpe. I'm glad he got one. Borrowed Judge's gavel for a day.
Second batter of the game, I think. I think it was like the bang bang play at first, and then that we were just off with like slow-mo replay reviews. He also had the ball. It was the weave ball. He caught it.
Yeah.
But then it fell out, and then he threw it, and they got the runner at third. No, they ended up not getting the runner at third.
Turned over.
So maybe my MFer for weave was a little rude. That ball's caught.
Oh. So you're
I'd love to run it back. I'd love to run it back. I'd love to run it back. I hate that I had to do that to the weave.
You're giving Soto your MFer?
No. That's not it. That's not it. I don't know about if I want to do this or not.
Okay. Your last and final award, most prestigious award of the show.
My last award, there's something like if like you're watching Pawn Stars and they come in with just like a medallion saying it's worth a ton of money, and Rick, I think that's his name.
Okay.
Rick Pawn is like, I'm not buying it.
Yeah.
That award.
Tough.
And the guy's like, you mean you're not going to purchase it, or you don't believe it's real? And Rick says, both.
Is this still part of the award title?
If Biebs caught it, whatever Biebs can remember.
DJ LeMahieu.
Absolutely. And that I just knew I gave you too much info.
Well, it's a long one.
A long award.
Long one.
I'm happy he's getting hits, man. And I'm not going to go Averex on him because I don't, whatever, we're here.
Right.
And I'm happy he's getting hits and he's participating and he's looking like he's part of the team. 286 batting average this series, 250 on base. So that's interesting. No walks, 2 hits, got thrown out second. Joe's gave him the getaway DJ award, I think. But yeah, Tom Mason, the Checo's got to call in an expert. And I was going to name it that award, but I just don't know who the expert would be.
Right.
He can't run. That was
no.
And he shouldn't have. I don't know. I don't know even at this level of good, like what he's bringing to the table over Oswaldo even.
Yeah, I mean, it's first base is interesting. Like I kind of sometimes I forget how entrenched Rizzo is with like the Yankees, like Rizzo Foundation and stuff like that. Like Ben Rice, I think there was a discussion to be had with him ever since his 3 homer game. He's been 133 batting average, 244 on base, a 538 OPS. That I feel like the Yankees aren't feeling gung-ho about Ben Rice. I feel like they want DJ to happen in some way, shape, or form. And then that's probably also going to allow Rizzo to be in the mix. That, I don't know, like if for whoever you listening at home there, whoever you want to see at first base, if you're a Ben Rice person, like he needs to do something quick.
He got a hit off a breaking ball in this series, which is good because he's been like struggling against big league breaking balls. Against the fastball, he's got like some of the early well stuff, like the numbers still say like he's been striking the ball well, a little unlucky. But he did get a hit off I think it was a slider or it was a breaking ball in game 1. I was at the game. I remember saying, "Oh, that's good. That's good."
Yeah.
Rice starts a lot of the. Now they're in a really interesting platoon with DJ and Rice because DJ will get some games against righties. I'm trying to figure this out right now. Yeah, there's no real rhythm to this. But they're like splitting.
Right.
I wonder what it is. I wonder if it's like the same thing about Oswaldo, righty lefty.
Let's see. The Chicago White Sox. Kai Bush is a lefty, so that's an easy DJ. And then Cannon and Davis Martin are righties. So yeah, let's see.
Let's see. I think Oswaldo should be getting run. Whatever.
Give Volpe a day off. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah. When's the last time Volpe had a day off? Never?
Had the shits.
Never.
For all the talk
He
of how
played
much
every-
the All-Star break helped him.
So he played every game besides the one he had the shits?
Game 3 of the year.
Yeah.
I think all
Yeah.
the others.
Yeah, let Oswaldo get a game at short and give Volpe a breather. He's 0 for 23 with a bajillion Ks. Nice. Was that your second award?
That was your second award. I've already given out both of mine.
Damn.
Yeah.
Show flew by.
Do we need to say anything about Jazz?
Offense good. Coming in on the balls. That was the first time we saw it tested, or like slower ones, like the hot shots where he just gets to react.
Right.
Yeah, and his arm's good. The slower ones where you need some kind of footsteps, rhythm, pattern, didn't look good. And if Clay's your closer who gives up soft contact, then you need to put in someone who's better at coming in on balls. Oh, wait. Yanks don't have anyone, which is the whole fucking problem. Oh, I had to get in the weeds with people on Twitter for the first time in a while.
I saw some of that. How you doing?
I'm fine. I don't like when people use analytics, but they're not smart enough to know what they're saying.
Sure.
I like analytics, but you can't do it all. Like, I love stats. You can't do it all at once. Just like, because we're talking about Clay Holmes and how I don't think it's bad luck. I think it's a bad combo because you have bad fielders. They're like, Yanks great. He said Yankees grade out as top 5 fielding run value infielders, a Fangraph stat. Like, well, they include catchers and they get good stats, but they're not fielding these weak hits. And that includes Volpe, who's been great defensively, but that's one of the 4 guys standing on dirt. And the other positions are awful.
Right.
So just because they bring up like the average doesn't mean anything. Still 3 out of 4 bad. He never responded when I said that. So it kind of conversation ended.
Oops.
I was like, I can play the stats game. I know how they work. I also know like that it's pretty eye testable.
Verdugo's just our leadoff hitter?
Well, it's a platoon. So against righties, Verdugo is.
He lit off every game this series, right?
They didn't do Gleyber against the lefty?
No.
Why?
I don't know, Pop.
That's a good question. I didn't think about that.
Okay.
Just because Gleyber's been getting it done with men on base?
Verdugo's kind of playing okay the past week, 2 weeks.
Yeah, the 2 games in Toronto were obviously we were surprised about the 0 for 10, and Boone said to us and in general that he was banged up. So if you take them at their word for that, he's just been good besides that for a little bit.
Still hasn't been Verdugo. Like, I haven't seen him flash a sense of personality like he was at the start of the season. New York Yankees rankings in defensive runs saved. Shortstop 9th. First base 27th out of 30th. Second base 29th out of 30th.
Right.
Third base 7th. DJ's actually helped out a decent amount of there. If you want to do outs above average on going in on balls, which is soft contact, which is the Clay thing. Shortstop 7th. Volpe's pretty good at it. That's great. First base 27th. Third base 26th. Second base 18th. So it's just shortstop outs above average plus 12. Volpe's been great. First base -1. Second base -2. Third base 6. Like, the infield's not good besides Volpe and the catchers. And the catchers counting as infield is stupid.
For these purposes, we're trying to talk about a different thing. And that catchers aren't part of that.
Yeah. All right. Some other fun stats I have in front of me that I can share with you. Are you ready? Do you want the good, bad, or the streaks?
Yeah.
From Inside Edge. Beebs, good, bad, or good, bad streaks tendencies. One of the 4. Which would you like?
Well, let's start with bad and get with interesting and good to clean it up after.
Okay. The bad. Jazz Chisholm is slugging just .292 versus relief pitchers this season, which is the 5th lowest in the National League.
Okay.
Oh, no, this is the worst of the worst. Opponents are hitting .464 against Clay Holmes when he's behind in the count. That's bad.
It's a good tidbit.
Yeah. The streaks is also bad. Volpe hasn't drawn a walk in 76 plate appearances or something like that. No.
It's supposed to be like his number one skill, controlling the zone, right?
59 plate appearances. Not drawn a walk in his last 59 plate. No. It's more than that. That's against right-handed pitchers, but he hasn't drawn a walk in a long time. I think it's 70-something plate appearances, which is really, I don't know, not what you want. You want to walk?
Yeah.
July 21st was his last walk, so it's 74 plate appearances plus today, which adds another 4. So 78. No walks in the last 78. That's not good.
Nope.
Damn. Should I end with good?
Maybe.
Yankees hitters are slugging .460 against right-hand pitchers this season. That's good. Ooh, Jazz Chisholm batting .300 with runners in scoring position this season. That's good because we need all those guys. All the guys 4 through 8, 4 through 7. 4 through 7, I'll let 8 and 9 do whatever they're doing. But 4 through 7, let's drive in, guys.
Need it.
Need it pretty bad. We didn't talk about Stroman. That's the only thing we missed. He did look better, and that was like a notch. We also didn't talk about Rodon. He looked great.
Yeah.
Stroman.
Hopefully. I mean, Cole and Stroman, potential stepping stone guys. And yeah, Rodon's just been really good.
Yeah. Very happy about Stroman.
Got him the extra.
Need more.
rest,
Need
they
to see
said
it continue to see it, but there's a better game plan, better execution. 5 innings pitched, 1 earned run. I liked getting him out with the win at the time, not knowing what the rest of the game would bring. But yeah, I like that. All right. That's everything. We're getting to a point where there's a lot to discuss.
There is.
Go Yanks. Tell them, Grams.
Go Yankees.
Mark Leiter didn't get talked about.